for some extended period of time, as long as they keep utilities on, some utility, and have good intent to return to the property. That is a waiver, that's an exemption. Keeping the property maintained is a great way to keep yourself from maybe ending up on the list if you're kind of in and out or back and forth. You know, don't, like I said, don't draw too much attention to yourself, and you could possibly get away with it. However, the building starts to become a problem and a nuisance, and the grass is 12 inches high, and Tom has to go out there and this and that, and the neighbors are complaining, and it is obvious that the building is vacant, and you don't meet any of the exemptions. You do need to register that building. It is $30 for a residential the first year, $50 second year, $75 after that. Multi-dwelling units are a little bit more, and then commercials a little bit more. A quick rundown of history. I asked them to provide a history of it. Registered by year 2016, we had 50. 2017, we had 53. 2018, 41. 2019, 27 currently registered. 11 of those are outstanding. 27 of the buildings have been registered every year for commercial and 23 residential. No buildings have been declared a public nuisance as of yet. We haven't had to take that avenue. Really all this is not supposed to be a tool to end the vacant building blight or whatever you want to call it. This is simply a measuring stick of how many vacant buildings we have. It provides us a way to contact the building owners or representatives from the bank if it's a foreclosure, which a lot of these are. If something happens, I spoke with the police chief, they like it. I spoke to the fire chief, they like it. They're provided lists, they are updated yearly. You know, landlords have to register, businesses have to register. We want to know who has the vacant buildings, and if something happens, simply who can we contact. It really, and it helps the property owner. If the grass starts getting high, if we have a complaint, if we have something, we have an avenue now to reach out to you, and before we have to go send the guys to cut the grass without being able to get a hold of anybody and lien the property, now it gives us an avenue to contact you ahead of time and maybe stop that from ever really kind of getting started. So I like it. I think it's pretty common sense. I know Greensburg's getting ready to do it. You know, I know people that wanted to see it tougher, you know, plexiglass and stuff like that, and we really just want to make sure we're keeping track of the vacant buildings, just to have somebody to contact in case of an issue. Again, this isn't supposed to be a tool that's used to end blight, so to speak. Yes, if the property starts getting to a point we can go in and do things, but if you keep your property maintained, this is really just a yearly registration so we know who to contact. Anything to add?
Well, if I may, the first year if we had 50, this year we have 20 some. Is there any, Tom, do you match to make sure that the ones that are no longer registered this year don't need to be registered, and if they do you?
I'm not sure your question.
So it's the first year you said we had 50 registered, they have to register each year.
Yeah.
This year we have 20.
27, we're still waiting for 11 outstanding.
It's 38 buildings that we have to deal with this year. Yeah, the mortgage companies they're on board with this. They like the ordinance. They like the registration part of it.
Who does?
The mortgage companies.
A lot of these are for foreclosures.
Yeah, the foreclosure companies. They're for the banks. For the most part, I mean, there's some odd ones, but for the most part, you know, those properties that come in, come out, foreclose on the property, it's done, they do sale, it comes off of the registration. You know, they come in and come out on that. Both of those, you know, is the market itself as far as the housing market involved. You know, at the beginning of that was the tail end of the housing bubble when we started this out, which was kind of the impetus at the start of this. That's why that number's gone down some. We also have had some success stories where some people have said, okay, it's vacant, I don't really want to deal with this. I'm going to sell the property now. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to rent the property. I'm going to turn around and fix it up, and I'm going to move my Aunt Sally in. So there's some good reasons for it to come down, numbers come down. I like
So then the 20-some that are not registered anymore are not vacant anymore?
I'm sorry, what?
So the 20-some that were registered in 2016 that are no longer registered now, because we only have 27,
Right.
they are no longer vacant?
They're no longer vacant.
Okay.
They've done one of three things. They're back on the market. There's new owners in there, new people in there. They're back in the rental program, or something like that. Or there was one case where the buildings torn down. But the rest of them, they're back out in the public. Yeah.
Okay.
New owners.
Understand it could be a whole lot worse, because this is still private property. This belongs to somebody, and somebody else now is telling them what to do with this property, what they have to do, what they can do, what they shouldn't do, that they have to sell it. It's a,
You don't have to sell it.
yeah.
You
but
can register
if you
it
put
every
a, if
year.
you put a, you put a sign in it, but that's what, one of the examples he said, we sold properties. But I do believe that, because one of the questions I asked you was, is it working? Was there any success stories? Okay, you told me, yeah, we got lower numbers of it. You told me, yeah, we got that. I can understand it. I just don't understand why it has to cost people extra money to, maybe I know one that I was involved with, the guy didn't have the money to fix it up. It's in his backyard. He may still have it. He might still be registering it. I don't know, over on the west side. But yet, the wisdom was to take even more money off of him that he could have maybe bought a window with. I didn't understand that. I believe I did vote for this thing the last time because it was a bit of a tool to do some things. This area in the last 5 years has changed a lot. I see it more now as getting more properties on the market that somebody else can pick up and develop. And I just don't want to see people getting targeted for the properties that they own because they own them and they're not doing what somebody else thinks that they should not be doing with them, that it should cost them more money. But then again, I come back to the statement of this could be a lot worse. And maybe by implementing this thing and having no sunshine on it, that it could be worse in 5 years. So the signage, though, I'm just not sure that. Does New Haven Hose know that it's a vacant building over on Fayette Street? Is that in their computer? They know it on their way down, or being through our registration of landlords, do they know that at East Crawford going to a fire that there's 2 kids, 1 mother, and 2 dogs?